Hello everyone and welcome to this TPC New Year event 2024. We have an exciting program today for you and also with a lot of speakers. So we have made an exciting program and I want to share that with you. And clicking on the button, I don't know, is it in the screen, the next slide? No. Let's see. Ah, there it is. Great. So, but first, before we go to the program, I would like to toast with all of you here in the studio at Foodvalley and also at home or at your work with a non-alcoholic drink. Here we go. Hoppa. So, Suzanne, as a colleague of TPC, the first one for you. Jeroen, as the founder of TPC and still very involved. Some guests, please come over here if you want to. Also, Rieks, for you. Bert.
Thank you.
Julie, from Perry. And one for myself. So, well, I wish you all a healthy and successful 2024.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers.
Ah, great taste. So, and I will drink my champagne later.
We'll be
Enjoy. Because we have an exciting program today, as I already explained. But first of all, personal note. This morning when I was walking in Wageningen at the campus, where we are now, I saw these ducks sitting on the ice because in the Netherlands it is really freezing cold. Yesterday there was already an ice skating venue already. So everybody in the Netherlands is aware of the ice and the possibilities to skate on the ice. So I'm happy that you are all here with me and with all our colleagues and guests. The program today, I will start presenting the review and also a preview of 2024, the first half of the year. And then we will have 3 presentations from new partners from the protein community. As you can see, Studio Fava, Michael Lusink, Grassa, Riek Smoke, he is here in the studio with us, and Andy Parrott from Hain Celestial from the UK. They all have 10 minutes. They will present some slides and afterwards you can ask questions. Every time, always, you can use the chat. There's a chat functionality that you can use to ask questions to me, to the speakers, or to the other participants online. So please use the chat. Suzanne, my colleague, is managing the chat, so she will manage that and inform me if there are questions that I can ask to the speakers. Then, at 16:50, so 10 minutes before 5, we will focus on France, because there is a very interesting survey about the alternative protein sector in France. And Jeroen Willemsen from Foodvalley will start introducing a European perspective. And then Antoine Pieters from the Bioeconomy for Change will start presenting the report. He will, I think, take about 20 minutes to present that report. And then we will have Willem Spicht from Rival Foods and also Bruno Enen from Roquette talking about partnerships with countries from the Netherlands and France. How does that work? And, well, what can you expect? And last but not least, you also saw him already standing next to me, Bert van der Heijden from RVO. He will tell a bit about an innovation mission that will happen in April to France. And you can join if you want to. So everything about that will be handled later. So I will start with the review of 2023 because it was an exciting year. But it was not only exciting. Of course, the sector itself was a bit in a shock when there was a lot of turbulence about alternative proteins in the market and also in the media. So I would like to thank you all for being persistent and continue your journey, because we think we can get a higher percentage of alternative proteins in the market than we already have. So there is a lot of potential for growth. But zooming in to what we did as the protein community, well, we also had a theme last year, and it was Germany. And Germany, that theme that resulted in 2 workshops that we organized together with OostNL. And not only the workshops, but also a visit to Anuga was organized, a bus trip with many partners from the protein community. And later on, and that was for us the biggest event of the year, we had a shared booth at the Food Ingredients in Europe. For 3 days, we were participating in our booth, and you can see the pictures with 12 partners, 12 companies who had the international audience of all the attendees from this event. And with a lot of help from the communication team and also the companies themselves, there were more than 200 leads identified for these 12 partners. So I think that's a great outcome for this big event in Frankfurt. And it was also possible to attend this event because we had a subsidy from the top sector agro and food. And you can see in the pictures, the theme of our booth was the 12 showcases of the future protein NL. So a lot of attention and traction during this event. What we also did, we organized our own events, and we organized 3 acceleration events, and many of you attended on location and also online, together with the networking part after each session. And we had the 3 topics: texturization, functional ingredients in Groningen at AVB, and the novel food session at Kozen in Noord-Brabant. And again, thank you for these partners to host this session for us. We also organized 2 community events for the TPC partners again at Plant Forward. That was the first time Plant Forward was organized in Amsterdam, where we also had 10 partners presenting their new product innovations. And 2 months ago, in November in Wageningen, we had our session, as you can see on the picture, with more than 70 participants, and we had the opportunity to offer also some great follow-up activities. And I want to mention 2 of them because 5 of our partners, they will now get a free marketing workshop organized with Jane, our marketing partner, and there will be 2 companies, they will receive a free CSRD scan. I will talk about CSRD later. And we were also very proud that we launched the first TPC video. You can see also on the picture that we are watching that video. But that was not all. We also had, and it was new for TPC, 2 online masterclasses. The first one was about product innovation. How does it work? How does it get traction? And what are the do's and don'ts? And the second masterclass we had, that was online business, and it was hosted by Want to Taste. Actually, Want to Taste is having their office next to Foodvalley's office in the same building here in Wageningen. And also new, we introduced the online Meet the New TPC partners. And we did that 4 times, and that was really successful. So we will continue also that during this year. And last but not least, we also did a tour, or we call it TPC on tour. We visited the Free From in Rai Amsterdam, 2 days. We had our own booth, met a lot of interesting partners and companies in the food sector, where we also had 3 other TPC partners with their own booth. And Minke, my colleague, and I, we also did a presentation on the main event. And what maybe some of you know, there was a research and analysis done by students from the Wageningen University about the TPC network and the protein value chain. And now we are still looking about what we can do and what we can use from their research to improve our network and the activities from the protein community. And of course, ongoing, you have received a monthly newsletter, and we were very active also with matchmaking, so one-on-one with companies like you and others that could help you to grow in the protein transition. And last but not least, we had many projects in 2023, and I summarized only 2, but there were more, like GoFresh that we did with 10 TPC partners, shortening the chain and the let's say the speed for innovation for faba beans. And the second one, and that's still going on, very successful, the bean deal, where 17 partners of TPC are also included. And we were surprised, actually. It was in the last week of December that we got an award as a, in Dutch they said, eiwituitblinker. I think Jeroen called them the protein jewels of 2023 from Misset Publishing. And they said Foodvalley and the protein community, they are the driving force behind the scene for the protein transition. And we thought it's a great compliment. And you can see the others that received this award. It was Boermarke, McDonald's, Albert Heijn, Green Protein Alliance, Nieuwe Melkboer, Boon, AVB, de Eiwitboeren van Nederland, and also Friesland Campina. We are very proud to have received that award. But I think more important actually is looking forward for this year. And I know some of you who are attending today, you are not a partner of the protein community yet, because you're also interested in the report about France. But please know and be aware what we are going to do in 2024, because the theme from last year from Germany now is going to be France. And of course, this session will continue later, all about the French market and the alternative protein sector. So what we're going to do, I should say, this year for the acceleration sessions, where we have speakers and where we have the networking part, that will be, the first one will be about hybrid products or hybrid products. Are they going to be the new change maker in plant-based or not? Or, well, we have several speakers that are going to have a talk about that. And it will be in Nijkerk on the 22nd of March at Vreugdehill Dairy Foods. And I hope you will attend that session. And you can subscribe to that or register to that session online, because Suzanne will include the link to register in the chat. Later on, you can also find all this information from today at foodleap.com, our online platform from Foodvalley, where we have our own community area where you can find all the information. You can also find the recording, and you can find many links to subscribe to the events and the activities that we are going to present today. In June, we will have a session about CSRD. I already told a bit about that. We still have to find the exact date, but it will also be spectacular, because a lot of you will have, I think, issues, but also challenges with the new CSRD regulations. And we wanted to explain what is happening and what could be exciting roadmaps and steps for you to take. And later, and it will be in Q3, there will be an accelerator session about upscaling from many different perspectives. Again, we will also have 2 masterclasses this year. One will be about investment and funding. And the second one we have to plan still, but it will be announced in our newsletter and also on foodleap.com. We will have also, again, 2 community meetings that will be online. So, that will be on location, not online, because all the other meetings are online and hybrid. And we will inform you about the topics and the dates that will happen soon. And last but not least, we will have 4 of these online new partner meetings where you can meet the new partners from the protein community. And the next one, because today actually is the first one, will be in 4 weeks time on the 7th of February, because we have still 6 partners from last year that want to present themselves to you. TPC on tour, I explained already, and that this year will be also spectacular, and also with some nice things for you as a partner, because on the 14th of March in Kamerik, that is in Utrecht, there will be the Eiwit Transitie Congress. It's organized by Misset Publishing, and we have agreed upon them for a special price for TPC partners. So when you buy a ticket, you get €100 discount. More information will also be on Foodleap and in our newsletter. We will also organize an event. It's called the Future Protein session in Wageningen. And it's about meeting the Dutch Alternative Protein Network. Basically, this is also a follow-up from the session in Frankfurt, where there was a lot of questions about, okay, can we visit you? Can we meet other companies? So we will organize that also together with OCNL on the 21st of April. Then after that, there will be planned forward. Last year it was actually 1 day, and this year it will be 2 days, because last year it was sold out. There were many people who wanted to visit the event, but that was not possible anymore. So the organizers, they now decided to organize it for 2 days. And we have made a deal as a founder of Plant Forward that every TPC partner gets €500 discount on the ticket. And the ticket is normally €795 for 2 days. So that is a huge discount. More about that you can find in Foodleap as soon as possible. What we're going to do, and you can see it on the right side of the screen, we will also introduce the Protein Transition Map NL. Some of you have already heard about it, some not, but every company that we know in the Netherlands that's working on alternative proteins, we have identified and put them on this interactive map. You can click on, you can zoom in on all the details of the company, and you can see what is the economic value of the activities from all the companies per province. So you can also see what is the impact in the Netherlands with the protein transition activities. And that will be presented during Plant Forward in Amsterdam in April. Another exciting activity is that the provinces in the Netherlands, they organizing now a mission for alternative proteins, and this is an inspiration and networking mission to Denmark. That will be 3 days, and that will be in March. And Jeroen Willemsen, my colleague, will also attend that trip to Denmark. Also best practices, learnings from Denmark to other companies in the Netherlands and vice versa. The Dutch Embassy of France is organizing an interesting debate on plant-based nutrition and top sport on the 13th of February. That will be an online session. More details will follow soon also in foodleap.com. RVO, Bert, who is sitting there, will present later today the innovation mission to France. 3 days organized by RVO, and you can attend and you can register already for this exciting mission. Actually, I will also attend that mission to France and to meet a lot of companies, research institutes and others to share best practice and also to talk about the report that will be presented today for the first time. And on the 14th or the 15th of May, that's still not sure yet, there will be a protein day that also the protein community will attend. Many of you have seen what I'm wearing somewhere here. Yeah, it is the golden bean, the gouden boon. And we will award some people who don't know that yet. We will surprise them with this award for their work and their persistence in this protein transition. And as I explained, we will organize many other projects that you as a TPC partner can attend, like the Bean Deal, the Protein Transition Map, but also activities on an entrepreneurial level. And that will be organized together with the colleagues from Foodvalley, my colleagues from the entrepreneurial team. And what they are going to do, and you can, if you want to attend 2 programs. The first one is Fastlane, and that is a project where you as a startup in the protein transition or regenerative agriculture can become part of, and you can have specific coaching for your company. And you can see on the right side already 4 and also many more partners from the protein community have done that project, and they are still growing and become very successful. You see the numbers in this graph. If you are interested to attend or jump, as I should say, into Fastlane, send a message to Annieke Weringa, my colleague, or you can call her on this number. And you can all read about the schedule that you can see below, also later on when you can see the slides on Foodleap. So, well, this was actually the review and preview of 23 and 24. And now I would like to ask Michael Lusink. Michael, can you hear me? Michael, yeah?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, great. And I can also hear you, Michael. To present his company, Studio Fava, to all of you. And what you see on the picture is not Michael, but that is his partner actually, Dennis, who recently had I think it's a very great and exciting interview in a magazine recently about, well, plant-based and what is necessary to develop tasty new products. And I think, Michael, you will also tell a bit more about that, right?
Yes, of course. And I also have a presentation about Studio Fava. Can I share my screen?
Please do, yeah. And
okay.
For all the other attendees, if you have questions to Michael, please put them in the chat. I will ask the questions to you, Michael, after your presentation. You have about 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it. And now it's gone, Michael.
Okay, do you see my screen now?
I don't see it. I'm looking at Matthijs, the tech guy. No, it just disappeared. It was on the screen 30 seconds ago, Michael. And it was moving, actually. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, you see my screen now?
Yeah, but not in the presenter mode.
Okay. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there it is. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay. Yes, thank you for the introduction, Leo. For today, I will introduce Studio Fava, and thank you for the invite. I will start with a short introduction about myself. My name is Michael Lusink. I studied food innovation, and I started my first plant-based company in 2014, Bone. I think most of the people know already that company. And nowadays, I work at Studio Fava, and I will give a short introduction about the company. And yeah, our mission is simple. What we want to achieve is to get people to eat more plants and less animals. And Studio Fava is an independent research and development agency in plant-based, cell-based, and fermentation products, such as alternatives for meat, fish, and dairy. Studio Fava works in the food industry for brands, producers, and ingredient suppliers for ingredient suppliers, we do a lot of research to find the best product market fits for ingredients. Yeah, Leo, you already introduced Dennis. Dennis is the founder of Studio Fava, but we have assembled a group of innovators with experience and talent, with the ambition to use their skills to create sustainable products for the future. In our team, we have food technologists, fermentation specialists, concept developers, chefs, but also sensory experts. We work in 3 different domains. Yeah, we have more than 15 years experience in the development of plant-based protein. In the recent years, we also started projects in precision fermentation and cultivated meat and fish. We work for companies in all sizes, from startups to large multinationals. We have a lot of partnerships in the Netherlands, but the last years we are also quite active in the Nordics and Germany. What we also did is building an innovation model to get radical food innovations. We have divided food innovations in 3 phases. We have a concept phase, a product phase, and a launch phase. In the first phase, we do a lot of desk and field research. It's important in this phase that we define which problem do we want to solve. In the next phase, we generate a wide range of potential solutions. In the next phase, the product phase, we develop a product that is ready to scale. In the next phase, we also validate products with consumers. In the last phase, the launch phase, we organize the supply chain in our network with ingredient suppliers, but also producers and warehouses. There was a short introduction about Studio Fava, and yeah, we are really excited to join the protein community.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael. And I think what you just presented, I think it is a broad range of activities and specialities that you can offer from Studio Fava.
Yes.
What do you think you want to, let's say, get out or get from the other partners in the protein community? What could be helpful for you?
Ooh, yeah, I think it will be great. That we also get inspiration from the community because I think there are a lot of great minds working on the next generation of products. And yeah, we also hope that we can bring a lot of positive energy and creativity, knowledge about new product innovations.
Okay. Yeah, well, that sounds great. And you as a person, you also joined the project Grow Fresh already for 2 or 3 years ago, and you as Studio Fava helped this project also to create a great recipe for falafel from faba beans. So I think that's also
Yes.
a great example together with farmers, with you and with other partners from the protein community, that we now have this exciting product, and hopefully it will be soon also out there in the supermarket. So I think this is also an example for others who have similar challenges to contact you and to see how you can help each other. Am I right?
Yes, thank you. And hopefully we can develop a lot of new cool products this year, Leo.
Yeah, well, I hope so too, Michael. Thank you very much for your presentation. Riek Smoke, welcome.
Thank you.
You are the CEO of Grassa. I think it's also a very exciting company. And you actually won an award last year. Maybe we can talk about it later. But first, I want you to use the floor to present your company and also what you think the protein community, how they can help you, or what you can offer to the other partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do so. I was very
Great.
intrigued by the story of Michael just a moment ago already.
Yeah, we're going to switch on the sound of Rieks. First, maybe Rieks, please start over again.
Okay, very good, very good. I was already quite intrigued by the story of Michael just now, and I can see some reciprocity already. Michael, listen carefully, because we have a protein that we are developing that can use some help from your company maybe as well. So as Leo already introduced, my name is Riek Smook, and I'm the CEO of Grassa. And CEO is always a very big title, I think, especially for a small company like ours. We are a startup. We are a wannabe scale-up, as a matter of fact. And I always apply this big title to the huge ambition that we have, because we intend to make from grass a protein crop. Humanity has always been a little bit lazy and is always focusing on the low-hanging fruit, and that is what we have been harvesting so far. And we've been neglecting another source of food, the biomass, the leaves that actually produce the nutrients of the plants. Now, we have developed a technology to extract nutrients from biomass and make food out of that. And if you apply that to grass, the largest cultivated biomass that we have in this world, you get a beautiful synergy, because really nobody knows that there's so much potential to grass. People always say that fava beans are a huge protein crop. Fava beans, if you do it very properly, you get 1.8 tons of proteins per hectare. From 1 hectare of grass, you get 2.5 tons of proteins. But we've always seen grass only as feed for cows or sheep, the ruminants. And we have to be very thankful to these ruminants, because they have been turning that grass into human food in the form of animal protein. But we also have to take in consideration that they are very inefficient with the grass, because they only use 30%, which means that 70% of the proteins gets into the manure, causing all kinds of problems, and we know that very well in the Netherlands. So we step into that, and we take out of the grass those nutrients that the cow doesn't use and would put into the manure, and we make food out of that. And we do that through a process of pressing. We do that close to the farmer, and refinery of the juice that comes out of it, and that is a central process. So what do we get out of the grass juice? Proteins. And after our process, these proteins are all of a sudden accessible for monogastric creatures, and that's you and I. So we, as humans, can eat the grass of the protein from the grass. We don't like the green color, but luckily the grass protein has a white part as well, which is called rubisco. And rubisco is denominated by the FAO as the best plant-based protein for human consumption. Now, the other great thing about the grass protein is it's also a great soy replacement. Now, we've built Dutch protein strategies how to get less dependent on the soy imports. We already grow it on the land, but we are not harvesting it. We also get from the grass juice sugars and minerals. And what is the greatest thing? That the open grass is not a waste product or a side product. Now, it's a main product, because despite that we've taken out half of the proteins, a lot of the sugars and the minerals, this open grass is still a high quality feed for the cows. And if they eat it, they will produce no less milk, but they have substantially less emissions of nitrogenous gases and of phosphate and of CO2, etc., etc. So what is our promise? We produce locally produced protein, which reduces the footprint. So it's a boost to circularity. We have less emissions with the same milk production. We can add all kinds of biodiversity things because remember I said at the beginning this is a process that we do on all biomass. So herbs and clovers, please put them in because we can process them. And the other thing is you get from 1 hectare of grass up to 2.5 times more food than you get right now. Now, for the farmer, there's something in it as well, because he will produce the same amount of milk. Some people may not like that, but milk is still in demand, I have to say. So he produces the same amount, but he does that on a more sustainable way. And in addition, he will also produce a plant-based proteins that will solve a problem, his own problem, but also a problem of feeding humanity and the world. So he can embrace the transition because he will become part of the solution instead of being the problem itself. And he will do that with additional earnings of up to 1,600 euros per hectare. What do we have right now? A small pilot factory in which we process 2 tons an hour. And this year we're going to build 4 pressing units that will produce the open grass already. And then in 2026, we intend to have a first centralized refinery which can produce, it states 1,000 hectares, but up to 1,300 hectares of grass. Leo is coming in because I need to wrap up. I can see that already. Let me see what we have here further. Once this demo is there, and the farmers will see that they can earn so much money with this open grass and with this process, they will want to do this and they will organize themselves, and you will get more presses which we will place at agricultural contractors. Okay, I said you can also add all the biomass. The moment that we have the infrastructure on grass, we will process sugar beet leaves, tomato leaves, Brussels sprouts, alfalfa, whatever is green, we can put it through.
One more minute.
Great. I can talk for hours on this, and it's very big, and it touches on many parts of the food chain. So that's why we cannot do this on our own. So we are building a coalition of parties that are doing this together. And we do that with the agriculture cooperatives, but also with the food companies, with the farmers, with anyone who's in the sector, but also with the government, because they need a solution to this as well. The farmers benefit the most, but they are the least organized, so that's why the whole sector needs to do it for them. So what do I expect from the community? Partnerships. Like I said, we need to do this together. And again, I was intrigued by Michael's story already. Sharing of knowledge. We need new techniques. We need to get rid of a lot of water. And I think that is a topic that many of the protein community members have. And I think we need to pass the ball to each other. What do we bring? We are quite an old team, so there's a lot of startups of very young people. We are sort of seasoned, all second half of our working jobs, but that comes with a great network of people. So I can do introductions to all kinds of CEO level people who need to make.
Gaza is basically not a very young company.
No,
right?
No. So the idea has been there for quite a while already. Yeah. But the thing is, I think the founding father, who's retired already, he was just too early with this whole program. If I would have said 10 years ago where I was right now that we would be eating grass protein, I think you would have laughed at me.
Yeah. Well, you already convinced me some time ago, and I think it's a great process and product you're working on. So I hope indeed, you get a lot of partnerships also within the community and also outside the community. And I also have a question coming from Aldwin, and I would like to ask the question to you. He asked, how is the quality of grass protein, composition, digestibility, comparing to other proteins, dairy and vegetable? And actually he has a second question. What is the price per kilo?
Okay.
Can you try to
elaborate on that a
little bit?
If you look at the digestibility of our protein, the green stuff that we produce like that, and you compare it to soy, that digestibility is better. And it has 70% more essential amino acids compared to soy. So compared to the current plant-based protein, which we would like to replace as much as possible, especially in feed, it's better. The whole composition compared to animal-based is, of course, less, because that's always the case. However, if you take out this white part out of the protein, the ribisco part, it is still a little bit less than animal, but it's the closest as you can get to animal protein sources.
Okay, and last but not least, what is the price?
The price. Also,
can you? It depends also on capacity and
it depends on capacity. The way if we produce this ribisco and you do that for a price which is comparable, and you do a combination with a protein that replaces soy, and that has a low price, of course, then with 3,600 euros, you will get a very nice, profitable organization.
Okay.
If you have 1,500 euros on your protein consumption, then you are break even.
Okay.
With the capacity that we're building, and that is the step in facility.
Yeah. Rieks, I would like to ask you many more questions, but there's no time left for now. But
thanks for the time.
You will be open, I think, to answer questions also from the partners that can contact you.
Yep.
I think you still have your slide with the contact details for the.
They are, and also with a lot of enthusiasm, which I hope I showed right now.
Well, I think you did. Rieks, thanks a
very
lot.
much.
See you later.
Okay.
Please take a seat and enjoy the drinks. And now we have a third and also the final new partner, and that is Andy Parrott. Andy, can you also hear me? I think we can see you now. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. And we have also already met a couple of times online. You are a really new partner. Couple of weeks actually, and I think maybe not everybody knows your company Hain Celestial, but of course one of the iconic brands I think everybody knows. But I will not spoil this cliffhanger. Maybe I think you can present your slides, and you will also tell our partners what Hain Celestial is doing, and also what you are looking to get out of the community and what you can bring to the other partners. So please, Andy, if you would like to start your presentation.
Yeah, sure. Can you see the screen okay?
I can see your screen. Please put it on the, great.
Yep. Excellent, okay. So we're part of Hain Celestial, which has been around been trading for 31 years. Big company in the US, really about the better for you, food, beverage, and personal care. Lots and lots of brands over a long time. I've been working on plant-based products since 1998, which is quite a long time. 36 years in the same company with lots of different changes. And yes, as you alluded to, one of the brands which we own one of the brands which we produce under license is the Linda McCartney brand. So the very famous Linda McCartney, married to Paul, which was started around 1991. One of the iconic vegetarian and vegan brands, which has been going for quite some time. We also have a company in Canada called Eve's Cuisine, which has been trading for a long time as well. Let me just switch to the next slide. So our organisation, we've got one common vision which goes through all the brands. So the purpose is really to make healthier living for people, communities, and the planet. Make healthier brands and make a better place for everyone. And one of the best things to do with this is plant-based alternatives. There's a message from Linda McCartney Foods, which is all about kindness and not killing something to eat, and just trying to give goodness and health to everyone. So I'll just go through these slides and talk about the brand a bit more. So again, wherever possible, is looking to reduce the environmental footprint, make healthier products, and make healthier people too. if you ask consumers what they want, they'll tell you they want things to be very nutritious. They want it to be cheap and affordable, and delicious. Taste is absolutely key. And that's one thing which we're always trying to drive on, trying to improve our products all the time. Vegetarians and vegans are quite engaged with the brand already. The big challenge is always with the flexitarian market, which want everything for the same price as meat, if cheaper, which is difficult to do, but in some areas we do achieve that. And this is where we think the community can help us really in terms of helping us to make better products. If you've got some ideas or different proteins or things to make things a bit more juicy, more succulent, more meat-like, helping with flavour, texture, and more delicious. The main brands that we do on products are all centre-of-plate products, so sausages, burgers, meatballs, and mince, very easy and quick for people to get into. We also produce some vegetable-based products as well, and we're looking at new ways to expand on that range all the time. Let me just, okay. So yeah, a little bit more just about Hain. We're just trying to expand a broad reach to consumers, trying to be a bit disruptive where we can. We've our sausages, which we make, which have been one of the iconic first products. We produce them at a rate of around 700 a minute, so it's hugely faster. We understand what we do well, but we also want to reach out to other people that can help us for things that we can't normally do. The big challenge is things like looking to try and replace ingredients such as methyl cellulose, which our marketing team will see as something as just looks like something like a chemistry set, although it's a very very important ingredient which holds the product all together and releases juiciness. We're always looking at ways to make the products cleaner and more sustainable. There's a map of all the business which we have around the UK, and also some of it from Europe as well. And there's a map of all the different products. So we cover quite a lot of different products. There may be some protein or options which we could use in other areas of the business as well, but the sector which I work on is the Linda McCartney plant-based products. I've worked in NPD and process for a long time, and recently, a few years ago, I've been putting this knowledge to good use. The exciting things which I always wanted to do, which is trying to reach out to new people for opportunities. Sometimes the timing isn't there. It may be too early in the process talking to people, but we still want to keep in touch with people all the time as scale gets better and prices come down, because things can be a bit prohibitive at the early days. But our main sort of proteins that we use are soya. We do a couple of products with pea protein as well, always looking for new options. We have used wheat in the past, and we have one soya and wheat hybrid. So basically, just asking if you want to reach out, if you think there's some problem you can help with, or you think your product might be able to help us deliver healthier, better products that are more sustainable and help boost gut health, that would be ideal.
I think it was a great presentation, but maybe there was a technical issue that on the left and on the right side, not everything was for everyone on the screen, but we will share the slides also in your original format in our online platform, Foodleap. What I also I'm very happy to see, and I did not know that before, because in our meetings we talked about Linda McCartney and the company itself. That also you have developed the brand Ella, and actually that's the name of my daughter. And wherever we go on a holiday, if it's to Belgium or Austria, or even in other countries, I think Ella you can find almost everywhere. For us, it's a kind of a secret mission to go into some shops and to see, hey, is Ella in the shop available? But yeah, I think it is also an iconic brand. Am I right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's one of the big brands for us in the UK.
Yeah, great. Okay, I'm looking. There is one question, and I will receive it on my tablet. Here it is. thanks for this great presentation. I'm just reading out the questions. What are the ambitions for Linda McCartney to expand across Europe? Can you share a bit about that?
Sure. We've been producing products in the UK for some time. We also export to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, looking to get into China. We already do export some products into Europe as well. We have some sort of traction in Austria. The main products which we produce are frozen, though, so we are looking to find ways of getting products into the chilled market, which is more of a thing in Europe.
Yeah.
We are looking for ways to expand into Germany and the rest of Europe as well. But talking to a lot of people at the moment, some under NDA, so I can't really say too much.
Okay. And you are open?
But yeah. It's an opportunity which you can help us with on that. I'll be very interested to talk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Also, I think that I personally also have questions for you, Andy, and all the brands and the activities that you do. But unfortunately, we have to continue with the program. But also, I think interesting for you is to hear, okay, what the French market is potential offering to you. So I hope you can stick in the meeting till the end, because there will be a lot of interesting information shared, I think, also for you. Thank you now, Andy, and we will catch up later. Bye-bye. And now, Jeroen Willemse, please come to me. Jeroen, you are my colleague, and you are not here just because you're my colleague, but you are going also to present an introduction for what is going to be shared later by Antoine. But I see you, Julie.
Yeah, I have
What is going on? What is happening? Hello. This is actually the printed report.
Yes, this is the report. Here you go.
Well, this is for me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Jeroen.
Great.
Here we have the report. And this is the report that everybody can ask for to get a copy online.
That's right.
And we will, of course, have your email that you explained to me that people can send their request to get this report.
Yep.
Very interesting. I've read it in the PDF version, but not in this printed copy. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
And well, I hope you have a great trip back to Paris. But please stick around with us, and maybe if there are some questions that are coming in, maybe you also can try to answer them. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. I will put the report here. Jeroen, so yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, and I will immediately also refer to the report. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can see the smile on my face, because this is only the 10th day of the 5th year of the roaring 20s of the protein industry. And I'm really looking forward to be part of the next 355 days. We even have a bonus day this year to be part of this very exciting year in the protein transition. And there are two reasons why I'm so very excited. And that brings me back to what has happened in the past 2 years. First of all, from a European perspective, as many of you will know that back in 2019, the European protein balance sheet was published. And it showed that only 29% of the protein-rich material that we consume in Europe is actually also produced in Europe. So for 71%, we are dependent on protein-rich sources from outside. And we all know by now what the dangers and the risks are from such high dependency of produced products from outside the EU. And it has taken 4 years, but on October 19th last year, the European Parliament has adopted actually the European Protein Strategy resolution, urging the European Commission to take swift action to boost protein production within the European Union. And the good thing about that resolution is, for me, one thing. It says, literally, that to address this dependency, the resolution calls for the development of a sustainable protein strategy for both human consumption and animal feed within the EU. Now, what makes this so exciting? It's the sequence that it's mentioned. So first is mentioned human consumption, and then secondly, animal feed. And this is actually the first time that we see this sequence, that also the European Union acknowledges that the biggest gain we can get is to focus on human consumption. Now, there is a second very interesting development going on in Europe. So only a few weeks ago, the European Agricultural Outlook was presented. And in that outlook, it states that the human consumption of pulses will increase, or is expected to increase, by 61% by 2035. It is expected that we will need 2.8 million tons of pulses for food in 2035 in the European Union. And you, ladies and gentlemen, are a part of the solution. Now, there's a second reason that I said why I'm really looking forward to the remaining 355 days of this exciting year. And that is that over the past 2 years, we have seen that both nations and also retailers have set concrete specific goals on the protein transition. So we've seen that the Netherlands has set a 50-50 goal for 2030, balancing the consumption of plant-based and animal-based proteins. We have also seen that, for example, in France, it has now been stated, and you will find it in this very fascinating report, that France wants to increase protein autonomy by 50% in food. I think in 2030 or 35. You can look it up in the report. And we also see, that's also very fascinating, that retailers all over Europe are now setting goals which we can measure, which we can help also for them to achieve. So we've seen that Lidl in Germany and in the Netherlands, and also in the Netherlands, Albert Heijn and Jumbo have stated very explicit goals. We want to rebalance the sales of animal and plant-based protein products. In Albert Heijn, for example, has said no later than 2030, we want to sell the part of our proteins which you sell of plant-based, which is at minimum 40%, and it is now 60% is plant-based, should be, and it's now 43%. Again, you are a part of the solution. And with that, I would like to conclude. We all should be looking forward, because we are a part of the solution with your ingredients, with your innovations. Being it for governments, European Union, to realize their ambition, and also for retailers and caterers. So, and especially if you look at the interaction between the Netherlands and France. Take, for example, Carrefour, which has already last year stated, together with parties like Danone and Bonduelle, that they are undertaking a cooperation to generate 3 billion euros in sales from alternative plant-based products by 2026. So with that connection between the Netherlands and France, I would like to give it back to you, and let's make the solution happen for governments and for retailers. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeroen, for your inspiring talk and sharing the information that you shared with us, and of course with the partners. And now we are switching over to France, actually, to Antoine Peters. Antoine, how are you?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. I'll share my slide.
And please introduce yourself, because you are the Deputy Managing Director of the Bioeconomy for Change, but also you have another role in the Protein of France. So please continue. You have about 20 minutes to present the report and the outcomes. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes, that's perfect.
All right.
So Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for offering the opportunity to join you and this great community today. My name is Antoine Peters. I'm the Deputy Managing Director of Bioeconomy for Change. I will explain what we do, and I'm also the Managing Director of Protein France. I'm delighted here to present a very short extract of our study. As it has been explained, you can receive a copy if you write the email which is on the screen. I'm not alone here. You haven't heard his voice yet, but I'm joined by my colleague Valentin Dubois, who is the lead consultant who has conducted the study. We will be discussing, and while I will be guiding you through the presentation, Valentin will be available to address any specific question that you may have. Trying to change the slides. Yes. As we embark in this presentation, let me first outline what we will explain, and it is also how the report is structured, the key topics that we'll be discussing today. We'll begin shortly by introducing Bioeconomy for Change and Protein France. We'll then give a quick overview of the situation for plant-based and alternative protein in France. You will see that in this presentation, we will be focusing mostly on plant-based proteins, giving to spare times because the study is more than 70 slides and we won't have time to review everything. We'll be then addressing the issues of consumers and the market, innovation and investments, and access to raw material in France as well. And then we will end with a discussion on the regulatory and policy environment in France to better understand this framework. And at the end of the presentation, I will give a quick summary and some ideas on how we could further collaborate between the French and Dutch ecosystems. Let's move into the first section of our presentation and take a quick moment to introduce ourselves and the organization we represent. So B4C, or Bioeconomy for Change, it's an innovation cluster. We bring over 500 members from farmers, cooperatives to industries, research institutes, universities, etc. Our activity spans the entire bioeconomy spectrum, so we do not focus only on alternative and plant-based proteins. We also work on any other kind of food and feed valorization, industrial applications, and energy. And we work with a team of 40 professionals, which are committed to advancing the bioeconomy. I'm also, as I said, in charge of Protein France. Protein France is an organization which is run and powered by Bioeconomy for Change. It unites 40 French and international leaders in the field of plant-based protein, algae, insects, and fermentation-derived proteins. And the mission is to bring together and energize key players across these diverse sources of proteins. And we mostly focus on mobilizing resources and establishing a supportive framework for the industry in France. Let's move on now on the report. We will now focus on providing an in-depth overview of the proteins sector, starting with the current market trends and how they are perceived by French consumers. The figures and the quotes that you can read on the slides are extracted from the consumer barometer conducted by Protein France every 2 years. So the information on these slides are from 2022, from the 2022 edition. As a new edition is planned for this year and will be published during summer. Let's first look at the positive side, because a significant 56% of the quotes from the survey are positive, which is not given, I would say, for the French consumer. 36% of the consumer praised the nutritional benefits of plant-based proteins, recognizing for some of them as essential nutrients that can replace animal proteins, or effective, rich, and hunger satisfying. Next, we have 26% of the of the French consumers acknowledging the eco-friendly aspects of proteins, and health benefits are also highlighted by 1 French on 4 of the participants who pointed out that plant-based proteins provide a varied and healthy diet and are a source of energy and amino acids with benefits for the cardiovascular system. It seems that this one was knowing quite a lot about plant-based proteins. So I said 56% of positive quotes, but it's also important to address the 13% of negative feedback that we have, and specifically probably the first point of the negative quotes, because the criticisms primarily focus on taste, with 31% of French consumer within those who have addressed us negative quotes, finding that plant-based alternatives are not good or are too difficult to cook. So this is definitely to be taken into account. And you see that number 2 and number 3 in the negative quotes, some feel that plant-based proteins are simply a trend or described as à la mode or bobo marketing. So I don't have the comparison for the Netherlands, but when we see this kind of numbers, we are not surprised as specialists of the French market, especially when you look at the negative side, when they are looking for tasty solutions. But we still see that a majority of the respondents are positive. So it reflects a predominantly positive outlook on plant-based protein among French consumer. I'll skip some slides because we otherwise I won't have time to run everything. So let's now have a look at how these preferences reflect when it comes to product sales on the French market. So the EU market for plant-based food is nearly 6 billion in 2022, and you can see that France contributed to 425 million of this. So in 2022, with a growth of 3% from the previous year. Comparatively, the Netherlands saw plant-based food sales nearly at the same level, while the population is way below the French population. But in the Netherlands, we experienced a slight market contractions, while it was still growing in France. So we believe that basically the French market is just behind the Dutch one. Notably, the Netherlands leads in Europe with the highest per capita spent on plant-based foods at 23 euros, while in France you can see that we rank only at the 11th position with 6 euro per capita. So there is a lot of opportunity in growing this market and developing solutions. As we move forward in our exploration of the French protein sector, let's transition to the value chain and focus also on innovation and investments which are currently taking place in France. On this slide, on the next slide, so I think that there's a short delay between when I'm talking and the slides, but you will see a slide where we have a map showing not all of them, but key players in France for the protein sector. So it's important to note that it doesn't show everyone, but many of the big ones are there. What we can highlight from this illustration is that France boasts a unique strength at the start of the value chain with large and powerful agricultural groups. And these groups are not just big, they also have a lot of influence in France, which is home to leaders in processing and producing ingredients. So making it a significant player in the sector and in the value chains. In recent years, expertise has also grown at the end of the value chain. This is where we can see the development of many startups, which are actually starting over the last 5 years, and the strengthening also of companies that now offer a wide variety of plant-based products. This slide illustrates the dynamic and evolving landscape in France with a strong foundation at the beginning of the value chain and growing innovation at the end, leading to a diverse range of plant-based offer. And they are supported in their effort by a rich ecosystem made up with technical center, associations like Protein France, innovation clusters like Bioeconomy for Change, and financing companies, banking, and VCs as well. I mentioned the role of startup in the previous slide. Here you can identify how the vibrancy of this ecosystem with the protein sector, and particularly in the plant-based innovations. So in the past 5 years, plant-based startups have led the charge, making up 70% of all new startups in this sector. Although insect-based startups comprise only 8% of the new business landscape in terms of creation, they attracted a significant 62% of the total investments. So showcasing investor confidence in this niche yet rapidly growing areas. And finally, we are also observing a rise in fermentation-based startups. Since 2022, these startups, although less than 10% of the total new entries, have seen a substantial flow of investments, and this upward trend is expected to continue into 2024, signaling growing interest in fermentation technologies at French level. Startups are not alone in this sector, and innovation and investments in France protein sector extend beyond them, with established groups playing a vital role. Major French cooperatives and companies are investing heavily. They are not just supporting startups as such, but they are also active market shapers, developing new product range and industrial tools. Cooperatives which span across France have been essential in pushing for the cultivation of legumes and own brands that are now introducing plant-based products. They are innovators as well themselves, with dedicated department for new developments for some of the biggest agricultural cooperatives. Ingredient manufacturers, they are key players in the initial transformation of raw material and are increasing their output of protein-rich ingredients from pulses, and are also heavily investing in R&D to innovate. And some even have their own finished products in the market as well. While product manufacturers at the end of the value chain are also entering the plant-based market. Many collaborate with startups, while others invest in their own products development and production facilities. And together, these entities contribute to a robust and dynamic ecosystem, driving the growth and innovation, as I could illustrate it with the market figures. We now turn to recognizing France's pivotal role as an agricultural force within Europe. You will see when you will get the full copy of the report that there are around 20 fact sheets on the different biomass which are available. I'm only focusing on two here in the matter of time. First on pulses, and then we'll focus on cereals. So pulses in 2021 France was the EU leading producer of pulses, closely followed by Italy. It is Europe leading producers of pea, second for soya and broad beans, and fourth for lupins. Although the EU production of soya, field beans, and lupins account for less than 2% of the global volumes worldwide. The volumes of pulses produced in France is made up of almost half by peas. However, soya share has been on the increase in recent years. There are many innovation programs supported by the government currently to increase the share of soya.
Dear Antoine, Antoine,
yes,
can you hear me? Yeah.
yes, I do.
I want to tell you that you still have 2 minutes. So
Okay.
to show the outcome of the report. So please go ahead.
I'll focus and I'll skip the raw material part because it's mostly figures, and I'm sure you can get it from the report.
Okay.
I'll take some time to work on the public framework because I think it is offering lots of opportunity currently. So for several years now, France has been implementing a number of initiatives to increase French consumption of plant-based proteins. These initiatives start before 2017, as you can see on the slides, but it's accelerated as of 2019 when a regulation made mandatory the introduction of a minimum weekly vegetarian menu in school canteens, and which was adopted. That was pivotal at French level and not so easy to get. In 2020, there was a landmark decision with the adoption of a national strategy for plant-based proteins, which basically led to several decisions like offering a veggie menu in the public sector catering as well. And at the end of 2023, Emmanuel Macron announced, and the French agricultural minister, that plant-based proteins will be part of of the so-called ecological transition law, for which 10 billion euros are planned. So it's not 10 billion euros for plant-based proteins; it's for the ecological transition law. But this timeline tracks the policy evolution, but it reflects the growing recognition of plant-based proteins in France. I'll also be quite quick on the focus on the national strategy. You will have it from the report, but basically there is 3 axes. The first one is to reduce France's reliance on imported plant-based proteins. And as a success indicator, the strategy set out a goal to double the area of land use for protein-rich crops by 2030. And the second axis focuses on enhancing protein self-sufficiency for French livestock. So it's important to note that this strategy is not only for plant-based protein in the food sector, it's also for the feed sector. But as you can see from the third axis, it is designed to boost the production and consumption of plant-based proteins in human diets. So reflecting also at French level a shift towards a healthier and more sustainable eating diet.
Okay,
Then,
Antoine, your last 30 seconds are
yes.
starting.
Yeah, so I'll skip the next one then, because I already said that plant-based proteins will be a priority in 2024. Just one number, this priority will be accompanied with a public budget of 100 million euro, which is announced for 2024. Probably the details of these announcements will come with what we call the agricultural salon, which is taking place at the end of February, which is going to help in boosting the sector as well, including international collaboration opportunities. So let me just take another 30 seconds, sorry, Leo, for some conclusions. So France stands, we believe, as a leading producer and processor with an extensive infrastructure, with ingredient processing and final products manufacturing. The national strategy is backed also by a significant budget to support the development. The French market, as I said, is responding to a global shift. It might be slower or a bit later compared to the Dutch market, but this is actually an opportunity for French companies and other companies like the Dutch ones to embrace this market and help the French consumer transition. So looking at the opportunities for collaboration, France renewed R&D and technological expertise is definitely one. So collaboration with the different companies as well. While with all of these factors in play, the questions that propel us forward is clear. It's just, shall we work together to harness these opportunities and lead the church toward a more sustainable and resilient food system? And I'm very sorry for a bit long presentation, but it's a bit frustrating to limit the presentation of such an extensive report.
But I think you did great, Antoine. Thank you for presenting this report. Of course, everybody can get a copy of the report when they send an email to par/lnv@minbusa.nl. For those who don't know minbusa.nl, that's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Netherlands. So then you will receive the report. And I have one question for you, because looking at the chat, and thank you everybody for posting a message. Even now I understand that we have a talent pool at the protein community. Very nice to hear that. But a question for you, Antoine. That's from Minerve. That says, did I understand correctly that one of the graphs shown and the fact that volumes dropped between 1990 and 2020? And if so,
yes.
Why?
Yes, that's correct. I think that Minerve is referring to the slide on pulses. And it's mostly, there are mainly two reasons why pulses dropped by from almost 4 million tons at the beginning of the 90s to 1 million tons approximately today. Okay. The probably in production is mainly due to a reduction in acreage as a result of the change to the CAP, so the Common Agricultural Policy, okay. Where there was support to grow this kind of crops. That's one of the reasons. The second reason is due to fall in yields. Like diseases, pests, and etc., making pulses less competitive with other major crops such as cereal or sugar beet in France.
Okay. Well, thank you for that answer. And I think if anybody has questions still about this report, please contact Antoine or contact the protein community. We can connect you with Antoine Peters. Thanks again, Antoine.
Thank you.
And also for your flexibility to speed up.
You're welcome.
And we'll get in touch soon. I will switch now to basically two persons who really are working on a partnership already, and they have experiences from a Dutch perspective and also a France perspective. And I think, Willem, you will start for, I think, 2 or 3 minutes what Rival Foods is doing. And there you are. I can see you now.
Hello,
Willem. And after that, Bruno Heinen from Roquette will also join with a short presentation. I think you have 2 or 3 slides. So please, Willem, tell me, what is your experience about partnerships with companies in France?
Thank you. I'm here at the Holy Cava, so sorry for the background noise if that makes too much noise.
No problem.
So we're at Rival Foods. So just real quickly, we are a plant-based meat company, but we work with a completely novel technology called shear cell. Basically, this allows us to create very thick textures of protein with a least amount of ingredients, and enables us to enter actually the whole cut market. So more chicken fillet, plant-based steak, fish fillet, those types of products, basically. So I'm running through this really quickly because I have 2 minutes. So the beauty of the system, in my mind, is that we actually have very few ingredients. As you can see, it's basically the wheat protein, soy protein, pea protein, some natural flavorings, some spices, and that's it. We have a very high protein count. We have a very low fat count. And actually, the salt levels in this presentation are still high, but we can actually go below the 1 gram per 100 grams if we wanted to.
Okay.
So what we are doing now, we are gearing up. So we're ready to start producing. We're ready to start selling. That's also my role in the company as a commercial director. And what we want to be doing is creating partnerships throughout Europe to expand our products into the shelves. Obviously, this starts first with an investment, and that's where Rocket comes into the picture. Rocket Ventures is one of the investors in Rival Foods. They invested in 2022, and they are allowing us actually to grow our business as we speak today. Also, not only are they an investor, obviously, they're also a supplier of ingredients and also a strategic partner in terms of advice when it comes to operating a plant-based company and buying ingredients. So that is a very special partnership we have with Rocket. And that is one of the connections we have with the French market, I would say. On the other hand, we are also now working on a commercial strategy, which we are implementing as we speak. It is still very early days. It's all very still, the ink is not really dry yet on the contract, so to speak. But it's nice to mention that actually France is a very interesting market for us. It's a very big consumer market, and there's a lot of, let's say, entry points there. The competition is relatively low when you compare it to, let's say, the Dutch market or the English market. So there's a lot of opportunity there to grow. With Acro, we found a partner. So that is also Next Food. We found a partner that is able to use our product under their brand and then sell it into the retail stores in France. And also food service, by the way. And the beauty of that system is that as we all know, the French, they really like to eat the French product and the French brands. And this way, we can use Dutch technology in a French brand and then get it into the stores. That allows us to open up a lot more doors than if we were to go directly ourselves. So these are, I think, very nice examples of both on the, let's say, the capital side, but also on the operational commercial side of how to do business in France. And we feel this is a very nice combination, and we are looking forward to launching with them in the coming years. That's it.
Well, Willem, thank you very much for this introduction of Rival Foods and the activities in France and with another company in France. So, all the best at the Horecava. And
thank you.
And now we're going to switch over to Bruno. Can you hear me?
Well, over.
Oh, hello, hello. We are trying to get you on the screen. Yes, I think that, yeah, you are right in the center of the screen. Bruno, thank you to join in also in this exciting program today. Yeah, please tell us about your experiences from your point of view. Are you ready to start? We can't hear you, Bruno. Maybe the microphone is switched off? In mute?
It's okay.
Here we
It's
are.
okay.
You are.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rapidly, so I am in charge of the new protein at Rocket, and I will put in 3 slides what we do because it is a long story, but I try to make it short.
Great.
In fact, till the origin, Rocket. Can you see my slide? Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay. He's involved in Netherlands for several reasons because of the well, let me go there. With the Netherlands because we started 90 years ago, and strategy north of Europe and north of France is the location where is really a strategic market for us, and Netherlands was really the place where we started together with the north of France in 1933. Two reasons, the market, the dynamic, and also in terms of logistic, because at that time we were supplying potato and corn from Netherlands, and still the case for our two largest plants in the north and Alsace. So with the development of pea processing in France, we started a really new strategy, and that helped us being really a leader in the protein ingredient market. And after the investment in France in a totally new plant in 2015, 2005, we invested in Netherlands in a pea protein specialty workshop in Horst for extrusion. So this was the first investment in Netherlands. And over the last 5 years, we were more focused towards startups and started collaborating with two companies. First, the Protein Brewery, and then Rival Food. And this has been done through Rocket Venture, which is the venture of the Rocket family. Okay. And Rival is the last invest of Rocket Venture in protein startups all over the world. So it's a really good synergy. Rival has a unique technology which is very very strong in a market which is meat analog, where Rocket is definitely a leader. Rival is really agile. They have developed several concepts and new solutions. The team is really high skilled with the support of the Foodvalley and the Wageningen University, where they come from in terms of technology. And Rocket Venture it's a venture, but it has the support of Rocket Group, and there is a strongly really involved team. And Rocket Group offers supply of other protein sources to be used at a rival technology plant. And then we have the market intelligence, especially for protein, but and also meat analog market, and also the application expertise with the lab, which is customer dedicated in France, but also in other parts of the world. So all in all, there is a very good synergy, as it was when we started the extrusion 10 years ago, and as we did also with the Protein Brewery. So we have really partnering with Netherlands groups, companies, in building our strategy and setting up for the future.
Great examples, Bruno, and it's also good to mention that Rocket, not only the ventures, but also the Rocket company, is also a partner of the protein community already for many years, as is Rival Foods, as is the Protein Brewery. So you see, and I'm very happy to hear that there's a lot of collaboration between the partners. So thank you very much for your introduction and all your experiences with the collaboration between France and Dutch companies. Now we have the final speaker, and that is Bert. Come over here. So thank you, Bruno, and I will introduce Bert. Bert,
yes.
What can I tell about you?
What do you want to tell about me?
Well, we of course have met many times. You are working at the RVO, or the Dutch Enterprise Agency.
Yes.
And you are organizing something spectacular, I think, that could also be helpful for other companies to collaborate and also to be inspired.
Definitely,
so,
yeah.
Please, if you want, you can use this pointer.
Yeah, sure. I'll just have 3 slides, and I'll keep it very short. I realize that this is the place where you're in between the event and dinner in the Netherlands. So it's great to have these presentations, first of all, about the report, and also these examples of collaboration of Rival Food and Rocket, which was just before. We organize these innovation missions on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, Food or Nature and Food Quality. because we think that the protein shift, the protein transition, as we call it in the Netherlands, needs some further push and stimulation. So this is the fourth innovation mission, and this time it's to France. And we heard there's a lot of potential still and room to grow in that respect on the French market. There's a lot of production going on there. This mission will focus, not surprisingly, mostly on plant-based, and also fermentation is one of the subjects that we are including. It's an innovation mission. So we believe that we have, and we heard that, we have definitely similar ambitions. We have also similar challenges. And I think by teaming up with French companies and players, we can really make this an acceleration effort, I would say.
Right.
Meat was already mentioned, meat analogs. At the same time, we also definitely feel that plant-based dairy is a key subject that we want to tackle in this mission. In that respect, I think after hearing all the information about the market, and I think a lot of people will probably read the report afterwards, I think it will be very interesting to join this mission, which takes place 16th to 18th of March, or April, sorry. And we will visit the north of France, where a lot of the production is taking place and the processing. And we will probably end up in Paris. And we try to what do we see now actually?
That screen.
We see that screen. Yeah. So I just mentioned this, and definitely aiming not just for one mission, but for multi-annual collaborations, like we just heard also. I think this is an old slide actually, but we are definitely still working on this program, and we will also fine-tune it together with the mission participants. We have the first people that have already registered. I'm really happy that you are joining as well, Leo.
Thank you. Yeah, looking forward.
And we have also Protein France to join us also in the networking and thinking power on the French side.
Yeah.
We aim to have a mix in the program of visiting the processing side, where it in a way it all starts after the raw materials have been grown. Ingredient companies, food companies, I think companies like Roquette, like Danone, are definitely high on our list to visit.
Yeah.
Research institutes. And I think we have mostly companies on board today, but it's always a mix of companies and researchers that we have on these missions with us. Maybe without further ado, I would say, if you're interested to join, here you can find the link, and I'm sure this will be shared afterwards as well.
Yeah, we will.
And if you have any questions, or feel free to reach out, and we'll be happy to discuss your interests.
Yeah.
But you'll be in good company, so that helps. Yeah.
Yes, and I think it is a low level of a low barrier to participate.
Yeah.
I see the participation fee is €250.
Yeah.
So I hope that that will not be a hurdle for you as a company or an organization in research to join. So please register through the website from RVO. And if you have any more questions, please contact Bert, or you can also contact me at the Protein community. So looking forward to go to France.
Same here.
In April. So thank you, Bert.
Yeah, thanks.
And now we are also ending up this program. We are a little bit late, 7 minutes. Sorry for that, but I think it was hopefully worthwhile staying into this meeting. So I would like to thank you all for attending today, also for your participation in the chat. And if you want to know more and want to stay in touch with us, you can contact Jeroen, you can contact me or Suzanne, and then we'll have another call with you. So thank you again for today. I wish you a pleasant evening, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.